Today we're going to the Car Museum in Mulhouse.
Off we go.
Woohoo! We made it to Mulhouse.
We did. She's got the sillies, and now we are headed to the Automobile Museum. We have to take a tram there, which is over here, and we should be there in about 10 minutes. We made it to the museum and we're buying tickets for a family of 4 with kids under the age of, I think, 17. It's €48. All right, Greg, what do you think about this crazy museum?
It's incredible. So you kind of start off just looking at like some of the hood ornaments and things, right? And then you walk into this room, and there are automobiles everywhere. I was just looking at this one from 1912 called the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. And it said that it was at the time the most popular automobile in the world. They've got a little placard. That one in particular said it required a certain amount of care, a chauffeur, and a heated garage. But it's just amazing. There's just so many cars, and I'm not even much of a car person, and I'm overwhelmed and really enjoying myself just walking around looking at all of them.
And I counted all the cars in this room, and in just this room, there's 55 cars.
55 cars in just this room?
Wow.
That's impressive. Thanks for
counting them. And this is the small room.
This Mercedes-Benz is from 1955. And let's see what this one is from over here. This is from 1957. Very cool to see all these race cars through the years and all these cars through the years. What is this, Yander?
It's Bugatti Veyron, one of the fastest car in the world.
It's very cool, huh?
Yeah.
Would you like to drive it?
Yeah.
This car museum started as a passion between 2 brothers, Hans and Fritz Schlumpf. They owned a textile factory here in Mulhouse, and they started to collect cars. And I think I checked my notes here, in 1957, that's when they started. And as they started to collect cars, they were into racing, I think, and really particularly into Bugattis. And so it was a very expensive habit. It became an obsession, and they just continued to collect these vintage cars. And we've counted over 300 and some cars here. I started doing the research because I was curious about how much the value was. And this article I found online said it's impossible to calculate because it's just,
But the highest retail one is how much?
The second most expensive car they valued at 60+ million euros, they said. So, just that's one car. We're talking about over 300 and some cars. So I would like to drive some of them, to be honest with you. So by 1963, they started collecting in 1957. By 1963, they had amassed over 200 cars. In 1966, they decided to open up this museum and let people come and see the collection of cars. But remember, they had a textile business. So 10 years later, that textile business wasn't doing so well. It went under. The 2 brothers fled and went to Switzerland, and they never returned. People who worked here would let people in for free, but they collected donations to help pay for people who lost their jobs as a result of this. So could you imagine amassing this collection and then just abandoning it? Insane.
So we just left the car museum. We are now waiting for the tram to get back close to the train station, and we're going to go into the Old Town City area. We're also going to go see what is called, as often referred to, as the Cathedral of Mulhouse, and it is known as the St. Stephen's Church, which is a Protestant church. And that's a wrap on a wonderful quick day trip to Mulhouse. We are now headed back to Basel and hopefully get out of the hot sun for a little while. It is definitely hot here. So it is a crazy hot day, so we got back to our house and decided to come swim the Rhine with our wickelfish, which is such a Basel thing to do, and Greg and I haven't done it in our 3 summers here, so we're so excited to do it, and hopefully it'll cool us down because it is stinking hot out today. How's the water, Greggy? A little chilly? You excited? We're going to take off like all these other people. Greg, what did you think about swimming the Rhine?
Yeah, it was very, very refreshing. It was a little cold at first, but not too bad. And then once you just jump in, it's awesome.
You get used to it, and it definitely warmed up. It wasn't that bad.
It was awesome. And,
It was very, very, very refreshing.
Thank you for wandering along with us.